want to introduce to you, to begin from the Hagopian family, this is Edmund Hagopian, who is Edgar's son and is the president of Hagopian World of Rugs. Please welcome Edgar.
Thank you for attending this very special concert dedicated to the life of a very special man, my father, Edgar Hagopian. It has been almost a year since my father passed away, and of course we miss him very much. But when I see what a wonderful crowd we have here tonight, it lifts my spirit to know that this gathering defines so many of the things that were so important to him during his life. I just can't think of a more fitting way to pay tribute to Mr. H than to have this event here in our Birmingham showroom. After all, this is the showroom that he designed. This is where he would meet to plan the endless community events he was involved in. This is where Chamberwin's Night Note series began 20 years ago, to which he deserves much of the credit for getting it started. The venue couldn't be more perfect. And of course, he would never forgive me if I missed the opportunity to mention all the fabulous rugs decorating the walls and the floor of this place that he referred to as a jewel. Whatever he was interested in, he committed to it with the energy that was unequaled. Some of you knew him as the face and driving force behind the original Hagopian companies. Some of you knew him as a leader in the Armenian community and the Detroit community at large. Some of you knew him as a generous patron and philanthropist. Some of you here today were dear friends, and to many of you he was a mentor and a father figure. It is humbling to begin to think about the number of people whose lives he touched in a meaningful way. I am still in awe of how hard he worked and the energy that he poured into the causes he believed in. He did not believe in taking shortcuts. To my dad, taking the easy way when there was a perfectly good, difficult way was seen as a character flaw. So when Mr. H set his sights on doing something, he always did it in a way that was top-notch, as he liked to say. He was the perfect blend of effort and aesthetics, of energy and intelligence, of generosity and integrity. Could any of us ask for anything more after we have passed than to be honored for our generosity by the people we cared about when we were alive? Well, actually, yes. There is a quality that my dad possessed that I believe made him an extremely rare type of role model. He was honest to a fault, and he was willing to take people on who were not. When he was faced with dishonesty, he fought it with all the resources he could muster. He was proactive in creating a more honest culture and community, and that means that he sometimes had to stick his neck out. I have two very short stories that I would like to tell that I think will give you a deeper insight into who my father was. The first story happened about 20 years ago, and I have told it many times because it represents how hard my dad worked to stop people that cheated and that lacked integrity. Some of you may know that he worked tirelessly to get laws passed and enforced in this state to protect consumers from deceptive business activities. He worked so hard his whole life doing it the right way, and it bothered him to no end that other people would cheat to get ahead. Well, a number of years ago, a local business was closing and having a going out of business sale. No problem. Except they continued to bring in merchandise while the sale was running, which is a no-no. And my dad had proof. So he met with the city attorney and asked him to enforce the local ordinance. The attorney told my dad there was nothing he could do. To which my dad simply replied, "Well then, you must either be stupid or on the take. Which one is it?" And then he waited for the answer. That's classic Edgar. He didn't mince words at all. The second story I want to tell you is one that reveals a side of my dad that I am most impressed with. After my dad's funeral, a family friend approached me and told me that my father had helped pay for their grandmother's pain medication in Armenia, and that his generosity had made her last months more bearable as she was dying of cancer. I was surprised that he had never mentioned this to me, and that he had done something so wonderful without fanfare or recognition. To him, it didn't matter if anybody knew. And that is what makes him so very special. How many people in the coming years will come forward and tell me stories of how he helped them when they needed a hand? Could there be a better legacy for a father to leave his family than for people to come up to them and share a story that their father has done something remarkable? And he did it without any strings attached. Your presence here tonight confirms what we already knew, that he lived a life that is worth aspiring to. I know you will all enjoy the performance by Rubik Malian. My father loved his voice, and we're so very thankful that he is sharing this gift with us tonight so that we can experience its magnificence together. Thank you again for being here with us, and we hope you have a truly memorable and enjoyable evening. Now please welcome Rubik Malian and his accompanying musicians.
Som եկավ լակունալվան, զոքել են հանթեր նախշուն կորկերով, զոքել են հանթեր նախշուն կորկերով, պաչպուն չաղջիկներ սարերը ելան, վիճակ հանելով աշխուժ երկերով, վիճակ հանելով աշխուժ երկերով, համպարծում յայլա, յայլա չան յայլա, լավոր էր յայլա, յայլա չան յայլա, համպարծում յայլա, յայլա չան յայլա, լավոր էր յայլա, յայլա չան յայլա, երկու փրկվանած, թև-թևի դռնած, զուգել են լևեր, հավիք են քաղում, ծաղկի հետ խաղում, ինչպես տիտերներ, համպարծում յայլա, յայլա չան յայլա, լավոր էր յայլա, յայլա չան յայլա, համպարծում յայլա, յայլա չան յայլա, լավոր էր յայլա, յայլա չան յայլա, Tu kennst het, Doch wie Safak der Nekcek Vachli Maler Wohner Portzak Neritcek Vachli Mek der Pokrutz Schatz Sirelen Kajutjun Incher Volini Cek Kanturji Partutjun Mek der Pokrutz Schatz Sirelen Kajutjun Incher Volini Cek Kanturji Partutjun Urmen Haroit Sargeng Terbuk Haftakal Tak du Shabun Mekze Zuchart Bat Vakal Doch imanan Mek Cektan Nachaganik Ein Bespitzetze Kor Hishen Hor Harsanik
Ja.
Hunchalik, hunchalik, harchalik, yar yar. Hunchalik, hunchalik, harchalik, yar yar. Hares yek avim achtem. Ay le 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 le. Hares yens karget yens. Hunchalik, hunchalik, harchalik, yar yar. Hunchalik, hunchalik, harchalik, yar yar.
About 6 years ago, our late benefactor and community leader Edgar Hagopian had the vision of working with the Boston-based Facing History and Ourselves, which is an educational organization which conducts workshops for teachers by providing them instructional materials for coursework on the subject of genocide, including the Armenian genocide. Edgar succeeded in bringing this program to Michigan. For the last 5 consecutive years, through the generous financial support of the Hagopian Family Foundation, the Knights of Vartan Narek Shavarshan Lodge here in Detroit, and other sponsors, the Armenian Genocide Committee of Greater Detroit, composed of educators and civic leaders, were able to make Facing History a successful endeavor here in Michigan, where hundreds of teachers and thousands of students benefited in receiving in-depth introduction to the Armenian genocide. The sponsorship of this vital program is now under the auspices of the Narek Shavarshan Lodge of the Knights of Vartan. We are committed in perpetuating Edgar Hagopian's vision of promoting the awareness of the Armenian genocide through education to non-Armenians. The good news is that our Knights of Vartan lodges throughout the United States are beginning to follow our example here in Detroit. The annual Armenian Genocide Essay Competition is an offspring of these efforts, designed as an incentive to promote greater interest among high school students to learn more about the Armenian genocide. Over the years, we have received hundreds of written essays, and the winners of the competition, as well as their teachers, have received cash, awards, and trophies. Of course, these are compliments of the Hagopian Family Foundation. At this time, I would like to invite members of the Hagopian family, Edmund and Sue, to present the awards for this year's winners. The first winner is the prize winner of $500 is Ashley Pecula, a 12th grader from the Andover High School. Her teacher is Miss Christina Hammett. Please. The second place prize winner of the $250 is Olivia Ann Kurjian, a 10th grader from Seaholm High School. Her teacher is Mrs. Dawn Whitehead. And the third place prize winner of $150 is Narim Albir, 11th grader from Andover High School, again a student of Mrs. Hammett. The teacher. Our thanks and appreciation to Edmund and Sue and the Hagopian Family Foundation. For those of you who are interested in reading the winners, the essays of the winners, they are posted on our website. It's www.annualessaycompetition.com. These are really impressive essays, and please check it out on our website. Thank you very much.